Okay, so I have made this last week so hard on myself, so hard on myself. And I keep thinking, like, how can I help other people? How can I help other people have an easier time than I've had? And I think part of it is just being totally honest and owning what comes up and owning what I learn about myself as a result. So I just noticed, like,
Is it just 1 tablespoon, Mom?
15 milliliters.
Okay.
Okay. So just everything. I'm like, oh, my husband shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't be in this position. My brother-in-law should be different, but he's not, and nobody is. I mean, like everything that I've experienced this week is just like resistance to what is. And I'm finding myself so frustrated with that. And yet I know that the more frustrated I am, the bigger the lesson exists behind all of it. And in meditation, I meditate just to practice the beingness that allows source energy, God, to flow through me. But oftentimes when I meditate consistently, I will receive, knowings that are super helpful, and yet super simple. In fact, so simple that I don't follow them consistently. They seem too easy, too good to be true. But this week in meditation, and it has been a busy week, but I was consistently reminded of presence and stop going into the details of, like, a story, for example. Stop going into the good or bad, the judgment, the right or wrong, because you can't see it clearly from that place. And you're also not present from that place. If it isn't happening right here and right now, in this very moment, it doesn't exist at all. And again, I find myself being resistant to that truth, but I know it's true. It makes sense. If it isn't happening to me right here, right now, it isn't happening. And that's the only reality. So it really is so simple, but it's still so hard because I've conditioned myself to resist, to tell myself stories, to judge, to engage in details, and they don't matter. At the end of the day, they don't matter. Being right, what I've gathered in meditation is drop the need to be right in favor of presence. Not even like neutrality, in favor of just presence. It's not happening right now. Drop the need to step into other people's lanes, my husband's, my brother-in-law's, my kids, who's ever. Can you tell who I've been dealing with this week? And I say that, jokingly, kind of. They're really good teachers. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but just drop the details, drop the stories, drop the judgment in order to see clearly. And the only place that you can see clearly is the right here, right now moment. And I know that, at least my mind wants to pick that apart, but again, that's just going into thoughts. Let it go. Let this teaching pass through you. It's already yours. And I know that too. It's just a matter of absorbing it and not overthinking it. Because again, once I start overthinking it, I'm like, oh, what does that look like? Or how would that be? And then I start jumping into future scenarios that haven't happened. And that's not presence. Or I start looking back and I start going, what did I do wrong here? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Presence. Thanks for listening.